Welcome. Today we're diving into something really fascinating, how ancient wisdom might just be the answer to our most modern problems.
Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Have you ever stopped and thought about this? We live in a world with literally all of human knowledge in our pockets, right? But somehow, we seem to be more stressed out, more anxious, and sicker than ever. It's this huge paradox that so many of us are feeling. So, what is actually going on here?
Well, get this. What if I told you that according to the material we're looking at today, over 80% of people are already going through a massive and usually involuntary spiritual shift, and most of us don't even realize it?
This process is often called a Kundalini awakening. Now, this isn't some abstract idea just for monks on a mountaintop. The theory is that our modern lifestyle itself, the intense focus we put into our work, the hours we spend staring at screens, is accidentally triggering this powerful energy within us. And you actually hear whispers of this everywhere. On Buddha at the Gas Pump, Rick Archer has spoken with hundreds of everyday people, like Gopi Krishna, who've had these incredible spontaneous awakenings. Even on the Joe Rogan Show, conversations with people like Graham Hancock often veer into this idea of lost ancient knowledge and human potential we've forgotten.
So, what does this involuntary awakening actually look like in real life? Well, it probably looks pretty familiar. It's that deep, nagging feeling that something is missing. It's that search for a bigger purpose. You hear this theme constantly on a show like The Diary of a CEO. Stephen Bartlett's chat with Dr. Gabor Mate was all about how modern trauma creates this deep spiritual hole inside us. And on The School of Greatness, Lewis Howes's guests are almost always people who took a major life crisis, that feeling of there has to be more than this, and turned it into their mission.
So if this is happening to so many of us, who can actually guide us through it? Well, that brings us to the heart of our explainer today. For half a century, one man has dedicated his entire life to standing right at this crossroads of ancient science and modern crisis.
And let's just hear it in his own words. He says, "I'm Osman, the blind Muslim yogi. I am a bioenergy healer on a master level with telepathic healing capability, using the principles of quantum entanglement and specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses."
And this timeline, wow, it really just shows you the sheer level of dedication we're talking about. He had his first samadhi experience. That's a really profound state of meditative consciousness by the time he was 19. And this wasn't just some hobby, it became his life. At certain points, he was practicing up to 18 hours a day. He studied all over the world, blending ancient Eastern traditions with Western scientific thought.
So what does 50 years of that kind of practice lead to? It leads to a truly unique healing ability. He works with bioenergy and applies principles like quantum entanglement, that wild scientific concept where two particles can be linked and instantly affect each other, no matter how far apart they are. He applies that to human energy. But, and this is absolutely crucial to understand, his services are designed to be complementary. They're not a replacement for medical treatment, but rather something to enhance it and fill in the gaps. So this brings us to his actual method. See, he's not just repeating ancient traditions. He's translating them into a scientific path that makes sense for us today.
His mission is all about simplification. It's a lot like how Dr. Andrew Huberman on his Huberman Lab podcast breaks down incredibly complex neuroscience into practical, science-backed protocols you can actually use. That's exactly what Osman's goal is, to take these ancient, complex yogic sciences and distill them into simple, results-oriented methods that can tangibly improve your life. And here's what that looks like in practice. Step 1. Simplify everything. Make the protocols quicker, faster, and easier to fit into our crazy modern schedules. Step 2. Make it accessible so you can do it right from your own home. And step 3, and this is huge, be completely results-oriented. The focus is always on what actually works to improve your health, your peace of mind, your relationships, even your finances.
Okay, now it's really, really important that we understand how he shares all this work. There's a very clear line between what he offers for free and his highly specialized paid services.
This slide lays it out perfectly. So, on one side, you have free knowledge for empowerment. For over 46 years, he's been sharing everything, simplified techniques, unique advice on his YouTube channel and podcasts. Nothing is held back. Then, on the other side, you have premium healing for critical needs. This is where he applies his 50 years of mastery to the most serious cases, and that is a one-on-one, highly specialized, and exclusively paid service.
So naturally, that brings up a pretty fair question, right? Why are the one-on-one healing services a premium service with a premium price tag? And the answer really comes down to the value of a lifetime of mastery. We're talking about 50 years of deep study
and a daily practice, even now, of 8 to 10 hours a day. He calls it sharpening the sword. That relentless dedication is what has built this incredibly uncommon ability to help people heal on very serious levels, with a documented high success rate. That level of expertise, applied directly to someone's life, is what makes it a premium service.
So, if any of this is resonating with you, if you're feeling that search for meaning or you want a more scientific approach to all of this, here is how you can start your own journey.
And I think we can end with this powerful quote from Osman himself that really sums up his entire mission. I hope that my efforts will help to revive a very ancient and lost science which could benefit current society tremendously. It's all about bringing powerful tools from our past to help solve the crises of today.
So, what's your next step? Well, if you want to learn more or you need to inquire about the one-on-one healing, the place to go is his website, yogawellness786.com. For a huge library of free practices and techniques, just search for The Blind Muslim Yogi on YouTube. You can also listen to his podcast on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and if you do, please remember to follow the channel. And finally, for his paid live lessons and consultations, you can find his Patreon through the website. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.